Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm trying a new to me indie brand and I'm so excited to be trying this palette out. So if you're interested in hearing my first impression thoughts, seeing some swatches and close-ups of the palette, then just keep watching. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Karen Harris. I like to film tan girl friendly makeup videos here on my channel. I like to focus on eyeshadow palettes in particular because I'm just such a fan of all the shiny sparkly things. So if that sounds good to you, highly recommend subscribing, turning on that bell, and without further blabbering, let's get into it. So there's a bit of a story behind this palette purchase. My friend Heather Austin ended up buying the Sorceress palette and she was saying how she really liked this, and I ended up looking at it, but then I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to pay for shipping, and it's like a bit of an older palette, so I didn't end up getting it. And then I started following Jolie Beauty online and I saw that they were teasing their next palette, which is this one, the Vampyrism palette. So when this launched, I decided to buy both palettes, and I'm contemplating doing at least 2 eyeshadow looks, so one with this and one with the Sorceress palette. I will be honest, the Sorceress palette is definitely like my color story, but this is like the newer palette from them. So I want to try out both. I think it'll be easy for you guys if I just do 2 looks and include both palettes in one video in case you want to do the same thing as me and get both palettes, because when you're paying for international shipping, it kind of makes sense to just do it all at once. So let's go ahead and look at some swatches, some close-ups, and then I will get into an eye look. Okay, so I'm gonna film with this one tomorrow and I'm gonna switch back to the Sorceress today because I really like this color story, and I did an eye look very similar to that color story in my BH video. So I decided today I get to play with the greens and purples palette, or at least the green and purple side of this palette, because that's just how I feel today and that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with like a blending brush, and I wanna go into the shade Healer, which is like a really pretty green. And we're gonna use that in our crease. And I'm not doing 2 different eye looks today because I wanna film some other videos after this and I don't want to have 2 colors in my crease. So I hope you guys don't mind. Oh, that color is so pretty. Okay, so I use this shade. Now I want to use the shade Powerful, and I kind of want to use the shade Puppet, and I want to use Hallows Eve too. So let's see here. I was going to do like an all green look, but my wheels are always spinning in my head. So we'll see if I can do green to purple. Okay, I'm going to go back into Healer just to amp it up a little bit, because I want people to be able to see that it's 2 different shades of green, not the same shade of green. So I'm just building it up. And then I'm grabbing a small pencil brush and I'm going to go into the shade Hallows Eve, which is a purple. And I'm throwing that on the very outer corner. Okay, I really like that combo from the green to the purple. So now I want a lid shade, and I think I'm going to use Shapeshifter, which looks to be like a multi-chrome to me. I can't quite tell. I haven't swatched this palette yet. I was going to before I played with it, but I didn't. So I think we're going to have a true first impression with this because I haven't swatched this one. I did swatch Vampyrism, but ooh, this is pretty. Ooh, it's like a green purple shifty shadow. Might be a duochrome, but it's so pretty. Ooh, this is like the perfect palette for like Halloween or Mardi Gras. I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay. I kind of want to put some glitter on top. Okay, I just wanted to add like a little extra sparkle, so I'm going to stop there. So there are a few pressed glitters in this palette, and I just used the shade Crystal Ball just a little bit, just to add some extra shimmer. Let's do the lower lash line. I think I'm going to go more purple. So for my lower lash line, I used this LA Girl liner in the shade Vivid. This is the Shockwave liners. I don't get the hype with these liners. Like, they're super affordable, but they really tug on my lower lash line, and like people swear by them on YouTube, but honestly, I feel like I would rather get the ColourPop liners. That's just my opinion. So I'm sharing it with you. Okay, I've been loving this pencil brush, so I'm gonna go into the shade Hocus, which is this really pretty like lilac-y shade. I wanna really make sure the purple pops. So I wanna start with a lighter purple, and I'm just gonna start off in the inner corner here. And then Hallows Eve, which is that dark purple I used on the outer corner of the lash line up here. Okay, so for inner corner, there's a shade called Equinox right here. It looks like it's gonna be a shimmery duochrome. So I'm really gonna coat the brush on and see. Yeah, it's like a white with some green, I think, in it. Okay, so the eye look is done. I just need to blush and put on some mascara and all the things. So I will be right back to show you guys the completed look. Okay guys, so the look is almost done. You're probably looking at me going like, there's something missing. And if you guessed highlighter, you are absolutely right. I actually bought this highlighter like probably a week ago, and I kept forgetting to bring it downstairs to my makeup room, so I haven't tried it yet. But I decided to be overly bougie and buy the Hermes highlighter. I skipped out on their blushes, so I wanted to do the highlighter. And somebody pointed out to me that Hermes starts with an H and my last name starts with an H, and that I really just needed this highlighter. Or something from Hermes, actually, was the conversation. But since we're not in that tax bracket, I decided to go for the highlighter instead. I will say this is smaller than I thought. I just felt like it looked bigger online, but it's about the same size as, I don't know. I only happen to have an Hourglass compact sitting here, so let's see here. So the Pat McGrath is a little bit bigger than this, but I mean, when am I ever gonna go through an entire highlighter anyway? So I haven't tried this on my face yet, but I figure let me do it with you guys. So I did all of my other makeup except highlighter. So we are gonna go ahead and try this out together. Oh my gosh, I don't wanna ruin the embossing, but oh, it's so pretty. So no highlighter? Highlighter. Cool. Okay, this might be the most expensive highlighter I own. Definitely the most expensive individual compact product I own. So I feel kind of ridiculous that I spent the money, but I wanted to treat myself. And I really want one of those Hermes bracelets now. That's going to be my next purchase, I think, because it's got an H on it. Anyway, okay, so I really like this highlighter. It's very like a natural kind of glow, so I will definitely keep you guys posted. I'm adding that to my Shop My Stash, so whatever videos I film for the rest of the week, I will try and incorporate that highlighter so I can give you guys some thoughts on it in a upcoming video. But yeah, I think with taxes, I think I spent $100 on that highlighter, which is kind of wild. Anyway, this is the final look. So we've got the Hermes highlighter on. I'm wearing the Natasha Denona foundation. I also am wearing my Hourglass powder. For bronzer today, I did use the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer. And for blush, I used the cream and powder from the Patrick Ta blush palette. I have this cream and this powder blush on today. So really enjoying that palette. I will definitely be recommending it as part of the Sephora sale if you guys are eyeing it. And yeah, so that is everything as far as the other products I used for this look. Okay, so let me quickly talk about this palette, and then I will talk about both palettes together at the end once I do the look with the Vampyrism palette. But this palette is beautiful. I'm so excited to have this in my arsenal of eyeshadow palettes. It kind of gives me Moonspell palette 1 vibes, but obviously with way more shades and way more textures, and I think there's like 2 multi-chromes in here. So the one on my eyelids today is Shapeshifter, and it was really nice. The mattes blended really nicely, and there's also a section of like cool tone grays over here, so very excited to dig into those at a future time. I love the size of this palette. I know a lot of people gravitate towards smaller palettes, but I do like the feel of like something like this in my hands. So very happy to have that with me. And yeah, now let's go ahead and get into the second look with the Vampyrism palette. Okay guys, so we're gonna film the second look with the second palette from Jolie Beauty. I'm so excited to try the Vampyrism palette. I loved my look yesterday, so I'm very excited to dive into this one. I'm so bummed because I've been waiting all day for the Danessa Myricks Lightwork 3 palette. I ended up ordering it and it never came, or it hasn't come yet. It says it's out for delivery, but I don't see it. So it's about 5 o'clock in the evening and I figured, you know what? Let me just film with the Jolie Beauty palette, because at least then I can get this video done for tomorrow. So I'm excited about playing with this palette, don't get me wrong, but it's always funny when you have a plan in mind and things don't always go according to plan, but that's okay. We will survive. We will survive. So I'm going to start off with a Sigma E38 brush, and I want to do like a yellow-red kind of look and definitely use one of the multi-chromes in this palette. So I'm going to start off with Soulless because that's just like this gorgeous mustard shade. And I'm going to put that in the inner corner. I think I'm going to do a 2-tone crease like I've been doing the last few times I've done eye looks. And I will say I did take a nap because I was like, let me take a nap. Let me just wait for this Sephora order. And so my hair might be messy, and also I did my makeup. So I was just laying on the couch, like trying not to mess up my face makeup because I've been trying to, you know, just do my eyeshadow on camera. And I swear it's like, sometimes you just try so hard. Things don't go your way, but that's okay. So that color is really pretty. It's a little hard to see. I kind of want to amp it up with this shade Fangs, which is like a really pretty, again, like poopy shade. So let's see if I throw that in the crease, if it'll bring out that mustard color a little bit more. Okay, so for the outer corner, I think I'll go in with Immortality, which is this pretty like red shade. And I'm just sticking to the same brush. I'm just going to coat that on. Ooh, I really like that. Okay, I'm going to amp it up some more. I'm going to go into the shade Seduction, which is like a burgundy shade. You guys will have to let me know in the comments where you live in the US or in the world. Do you guys have fall or do you not have fall? Do you live in like a place that's like mostly tropical? I obviously grew up on a tropical island, but the older I get, I really learn to embrace fall. I really like the season. There's something so beautiful about the leaves changing color. So I feel really blessed to live somewhere where I can experience the fall season. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so I have a bit of a dirty brush here, but I think I'm gonna make it work. I'm just going into the shade Afterlife, which is a dark shade, and I just wanna add some depth on the outer corner here. So I'm just adding that. Oh my gosh, I love how grungy this is. Okay, I'm gonna go into the shade Shadows, which is the matte black in this palette. And again, just tapping that on the outer corner. I'm going to take a E25 from Sigma, go back into Fangs. I just want a clean brush. and just amp up that inner corner shade. Love it. Okay, so I want to use, I think Venom is like the multi-chrome kind of shade in here. It's the shade that looks like the shade in the Divine Rose 2 palette. I think it's called Sextraterrestrial. I can't remember, but I'm just grabbing a flat brush. It's like a gold to green. And I want to give it a nice spritzing so that there's no fallout. And I'm just gonna create my regular old faux cut crease vibe. I just keep thinking any second now my doorbell's gonna ring with the Dennis and Myricks palette, and I'm gonna be like, dang it! That's okay. Ooh! This is so pretty. This formula from Jolie Beauty kind of reminds me of the formula from Lowest Cosmetics. So if you like that formula, I would say consider giving this a try, and especially if you live in like the UK, I believe is where Jolie Beauty is based. I will have to double check, but I think that's where they're from. If you live in the UK and you're looking for good makeup, like this is definitely a brand that might be easier for you to access than a US based brand. So yeah, I'm very happy with this. I love it. It's kind of a vibe. It's very like witchy, vampire-y, I should say. Okay, so for lower lash line, I'm going to use this pencil. This is the Linda Hallberg Red Mood Crayon. Have you guys noticed I have a new favorite pencil brush? This is the Morphe E36. Who knows if this is even the same now, because a lot of these brushes I have are pretty old, but I like this one because it's a bit of a thicker brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Immortality, which I put on the crease, and I really want like a bright red lower lash line. I've been really enjoying using this brush to kind of like blend the upper outer corner and the lower outer corner together and almost like create like a imperfect wing. I don't know. I used to like be more weary of doing that because I feel like my eyes, sometimes it can like really make like one eye look like they just don't always match up. I've been really enjoying doing that the last few times, and I like how it looks, so I don't know. I just like how it makes my eyes look, and I think it makes it look very dramatic. So I'm just gonna take this pencil brush one more time and add, there's a red shimmer called Life Force. And I'm just adding that on the lower lash line as well. It's like a bright red shimmer shade. So yeah, this is pretty much the final look. I'm going to throw on some mascara, a lippy, and I'll be right back to tell you guys what else is on my face and round up my thoughts on both of the Jolie Beauty palettes for you guys. Okay guys, so here is the final look with the Jolie Beauty Vampyrism palette. Now, I just want to go over really quick what else is on my face today. So I did go back to an oldie but a goodie. This is the Alien Cosmetics Leaves lip shade. I just love this so much. It's so easy for me to just throw on with any eye makeup look. And then for face products, I am rocking the Juvia's Place Tan Bronzer. And then I tried the Scorched blush in the shade Heat from Be Perfect. And it's like a really pretty neutral blush. And then my highlighter of the day was the Hermes highlighter, which I tried out in the look I did yesterday with the Sorceress palette. So you guys would have already seen a demo, but those are my 3 face products and the lippy I have on with this makeup look. So I had a lot of fun creating this, and I felt like the formulas were very easy to work with, just like yesterday. So as far as both of these palettes go, I think they were such a hit. I'm so glad that I decided to listen to my friend Heather and try out these palettes. She recommended the Sorceress palette, and was so excited about the Vampyrism palette that her excitement was contagious. And so when they launched the new palette, I grabbed both of them and I'm so happy I did. So another great indie brand that I'm so happy to have tried out, and I'm trying to think of what formula this reminds me of. And I guess if I had to say something that maybe a lot of you have tried would be like Lowest Cosmetics, which is another UK-based brand. While I was doing this makeup look, I was kind of talking to you guys about how I'm so happy that I found another international indie brand that makes good shadows. There's so many. I'm kind of contemplating doing a video themed like that, like some of my favorite like indie international makeup brands, because Lowest Cosmetics, Odin's Eye, Jolie Beauty, Glam Shop, like there's so many good brands that I've tried from overseas. So yeah, I thought that might be a fun idea. Let me know if you have any feedback on that. I'm trying to get some pre-filming done for just in case I'm not able to jump right back into YouTube when my baby gets here. So always looking for good ideas for videos. So if you have any suggestions, definitely let me know down in the comments. Somebody else left me a comment the other day saying they wanted me to talk more about like texture and stuff. So I don't know what to say much about other than everything was really nice and the mattes were really pretty, and they're definitely those mattes that you can build up on, which I like. This is one of my favorite formulas. I really like this type of formula. There's palettes I have that I can make it work, like no big deal, but there's some brands that have formulas that just, I know every time I reach for it, it's gonna be great, like Pat McGrath, Lowest Cosmetics, the Underworld palette is great. Odin's Eye, these ones are definitely like amazing. So I love that. The Natasha Denona formula, like those are like my top shelf formulas. So I would say I could definitely compare these to something really good that I can rely on. I definitely want to play with the Sorceress palette some more. I'm so excited by this color story. I feel like this is like if you missed the Moonspell palette from Lunar Beauty and you want those colors, this is like an even more expanded version of Moonspell. So very excited to own this. I'm so glad I grabbed that one. And this one's really pretty too, but I feel like maybe if you have like Stacey Marie's new Be Perfect palette, the Carnival 4, you might not need this one. I feel like this color story is more basic, but I love this one. Anyway, I'm biased. You guys know me. I love a good green eyeshadow palette or a palette with like pops of green. So very excited about having those two palettes in my collection. So that is it for my Jolie Beauty video. I hope you guys found it helpful. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments because you know I love chatting to you there, and I will see you in another video soon. Bye guys!